If you've been watching the Ocean County housing market thinking, maybe I'll just wait for prices to drop, you might want to think again. Prices are up, inventory is still tight, and interest rates, well, let's just say the Fed has a big decision coming up pretty soon, and that could shape the rest of the year. In today's video, I'll be breaking down everything that you need to know from where prices are headed to what's actually happening with our buyer demand to whether right now is even a good time to make a move in Ocean County or not. So before we get started though, if it is your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. And on Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you're the first one to know what's going on either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. To kick us off, we'll start with some numbers, and the median sales price right now in Ocean County is around $460,000, and that's up 5.75% from this date last year in 2024. So compare that to the median though, where's that out for the entire US, and that's sitting around $438,000. So that's not surprising that it's going to be higher, but it's not significantly higher like other points in New Jersey will be. And typically the Northeast and the West will be higher in sales prices than the South and Midwest will be. Now onto the sales volume, which tells kind of a different story. And Ocean County has actually started to see a slight dip from this time last year, about 5.4%. So roughly about 3,150 homes sold compared to 3,320 homes sold at this point in 2024, which is not shocking because that's actually kind of what we're seeing across the entire country right now, and New Jersey's following suit there. Nationally, you might have seen some headlines recently that April had the fewest home sales for that specific month since 2009. Obviously, we know what happened during that time frame. While Ocean County didn't quite see that much of a low, sales were still weaker than expected and just not near those post-2008 levels, that's all. But they were close, but not exactly the same amount. That's notable because March and April are typically our busiest times, or the kickoff of the busiest times, starting with the spring and then going into the summer. So it's going to be interesting to see and keep an eye on what happens realistically in May and June, and if we see a rebound or not. And talking about inventory, that's a major piece of the puzzle right now because Ocean County is sitting at roughly 3 months, which is built up a little bit from the last time we spoke, which is about 2 months ago for the market update, and that was around 2.5 months. So while that 0.5 month increase doesn't seem like a lot, it translates to quite a few active listings going on. So right now, to kind of give you a little bit of historical data, we have 2,200 homes listed for sale in Ocean County. Back in 2009, we had 7,400 homes, which is a massive difference. And the 7,400 homes was about 16 months worth of inventory compared to that 3 months that we have right now. So if you've been sitting there waiting on the sidelines, kind of like I said in the introduction, for those price decreases, that kind of gives you an idea of where inventory would have to be for that, 25, 50% off sale versus where we are kind of treading and going right now. Sitting at 3 months worth of inventory, we are still a pretty heavy seller's market, nowhere near a buyer's market, which you would need for prices to drop. And days on market is holding pretty steady at about 25 days, which is consistent within the last couple months and since last time we covered Ocean County. I would say homes that are priced right on the money are moving pretty fast still, but if you are overlisted, that's when you're kind of running into trouble here on the selling side of things. So when you are it's not 2020 or 2021, even 2022, where slap a price tag on pretty much anything, get 3, 5, 7 offers on it, and it's going to go over asking price, right? That was pretty much a trend for a very long time. Now it's starting to shift a little bit. While inventory is slightly increasing, that means there's more options available for buyers. Not saying that you won't get multiple offers. That is still very much in the realm of possibilities. I'm dealing with that on a daily basis. But you have to be priced accordingly to the market and where everything is at now, not like it was 2-3 years ago. Now getting into some interest rates, the current mortgage rate is going to be, the 30-year fixed is going to be about 7%, and it's hovering back and forth a little bit. But that's of me making the video. It could change by the time it gets released. This is a little bit of an increase, though, from the last time we covered Ocean County 2 months ago when it was sitting at about 6.75%. So we're at a quarter point interest, meaning that homes, when someone buys, the payments are going to be a little bit more expensive than they were previously. Not by a ton in that point or that aspect, but they're still a little bit bigger. And the big moment coming up is going to be the Federal Reserve's next meeting happening June 17th and 18th. So probably right around when this video is coming out. And most experts are predicting the Fed will more likely than not hold rates steady. And here's kind of what that means. If they're keeping rates unchanged, it signals they're being cautious about inflation and want more consistent economic data before making a move. Essentially, just a wait and see period. They're trying to avoid pushing any type of recession or inflationary period by cutting rates too soon. So for home buyers, this likely means that your mortgage rates are going to be in between that 6 and 7%. I would say high 6s and low 7s for now. So in the short term, you're not going to see much movement on them, but the idea is long term, a little bit more data comes out. They should start to see them drop over the course of 2025 and into 2026. And after all those fun and exciting numbers I threw at you, what am I kind of seeing, boots on the ground here in Ocean County? Well, on the selling side of things, like we mentioned, you have to price accordingly. Don't just slap any price tag on there. Even on homes 6, 7, 800,000 or more, if it is right on the money, you will be getting multiple offers on it, more likely than not, assuming it's a desirable home, updated, and that kind of thing. With that being said, though, don't expect your showing activity to be the exact same as what it once was. Again, 2-3 years ago, it was lines out the door. Remember open house lines? You probably saw videos of them on TikTok or Instagram where people just, car after car after car and just a massive line around the corner. That's probably not going to happen again. One of my more recent listings, we only maybe had like 8 showings over the weekend. Again, priced pretty competitively, and it still didn't even get us there at that point. So, but got the offer. It worked. Seller's happy. That's all we have to worry about at that point, right? But also some sellers are a little bit reluctant on home sale contingencies for their buyers, meaning if I'm putting in an offer, but I have to sell my home right now and I'm adding it in order to purchase that one, most sellers aren't really crazy over that term just because it's a transaction that is affecting theirs that they have zero control over. So if you can possibly limit that on the buying side of things, that's a massive plus in today's market, along with having a flexible closing, not digging sellers that heavily on inspection items, and so on and so forth. So if on the buying side, it's great because there is more inventory available to you. You don't have to feel so, strung up on, okay, this only home available, I have to go so far over asking. That's not the case as much anymore. But again, be aware of it. So buying more options, limit your inspection contingencies or just contingencies in general. On the selling side of things, price competitively, but don't expect the same showings that you were going to get previously. Overall, the Ocean County market is still moving along pretty steadily. We are seeing a little bit less on the sales side of things. Again, kind of matching up with nationally what's going on, but prices are going up and it doesn't seem like that's kind of phasing out anytime here in Jersey. We don't have enough of new construction or the inventory like some other parts of the U.S. are seeing. For instance, Texas and Florida getting hammered with the inventory, so it makes sense why their prices are coming down and staying stagnant. Whereas here in New Jersey, we really only have so much space to be building on, and it's not enough to keep up with the buyer demand of wanting to live here, maybe work in New York, Philadelphia, or that kind of thing. Of course, we also have the Jersey Shore as well. So with that being said, though, if you are looking to make a move buying or selling here in Ocean County, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, doesn't matter to me. Let's get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you're looking to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up and hopefully help out a bit too. Have a great day.